This is a disclaimer. This podcast features 4 professional idiots who share their insights and anecdotes. This podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only. This podcast represents the opinions of the guests and should not be taken as medical, legal, or professional advice.
Oh my god, I can hear you drinking. How can you not hear him, Pat?
What's that?
How can you not hear? Did you hear PJ gulping down? I could hear your throat making the swallowing noise.
You really should have waited till Tyler was on to say that part.
I think that's not the invite. And the first.
I'm still not hearing you, Dan. I hear PJ loud and clear.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm at 100%, and you're still.
How am I quieter? I'm literally yelling into the mic. You hear PJ, but not me.
I mean, I hear you, but you sound really.
Does it have to face a certain way, or does it pick up all around?
It should be a
There
stereo
you go.
mic.
That's probably what it was.
What? Why is it not? No, it's supposed to be
You're
a stereo
loud and
mic.
clear now.
Oh, well, that's good to know. Okay.
So haven't faced us. So we're both good now?
Absolutely.
Are we too loud?
No, not
Okay,
at all. I got you at 100%. You're perfect.
Okay. Okay, cool.
And I'm being told I'm going deaf like mom, so good news.
Shit.
Well, if I stop being able to hear the judge or people responding to my questions, then I'll start looking into hearing aids. I think it's just I tune out my children and my wife. I'm getting nods of affirmation.
Nods of confirmation.
Yeah.
Are you deaf? No, I just have selective hearing. I choose not to listen to you. We're just waiting on Tyler. I don't think it was... I think it's all working. You found it.
It was the last link, although I did try the other two while I was waiting. Because, if it's 5 o'clock, I'm just sitting here,
It's a different studio.
patiently waiting for you.
Well, I appreciate you. Is Tyler here?
Yeah, I am.
I've got Smurf.
Smurf!
What's up, buddy?
Oh, it's nothing. What's up with you guys?
Good. It's been too long.
Yeah.
What's up, man? Thanks for joining.
Yeah. No problem. Do you need my face
Can you
on
repeat
this?
what you said before Tyler got in? Just that last sentence.
No, I'm not
Please?
going to. No.
It was something super homophobic, wasn't it?
It's a kind of.
If it's coming from PJ,
I'm not the one who
his
said
intent is that it is.
it. Correct.
Dan, it's Pride
basically-
Month, so I need you to step up your game.
Step it up. Nothing I said was homophobic. Mike was turned up so loud, he was sitting there chugging a... What are you fucking drinking? An Angry Orchard. And I could hear him swallowing those. I could hear every noise of... As if it was like right next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And-
Love where this is going.
Yeah,
He's the one who's like,
right?
oh, I wish Tyler was here to hear you say that. I'm like, what
I
does
feel
that
like-
have to do with Tyler?
I feel like you would enjoy that.
See, is it me who has to step it up?
All of you need to do better.
That's fair. All right, if we're ready to go, I guess if that's enough pre-roll of PJ making homophobic statements or just answering phone calls in the middle of recording, that's fine. Hello.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're setting the bar high today.
I mean, the last time he was on, didn't he just like disappear before at the end?
Yeah. He left 5 minutes before
5 minutes before the episode was going to end. Yeah. He's
Okay.
dedicated.
No, he's committed. He can't figure out how a USB mic works.
Committed.
You lied to me.
About
You
what?
told me you couldn't figure out how it works. You never opened it.
I didn't lie to you. I always
No.
told you I never opened it.
I posted the episode last night and I edited it, and you told me you couldn't get it to work.
because
And
I never
you told
opened
me
it.
last week. That's your fucking full shit.
We have a lawyer right here. I lawyered you.
No, there's no lawyering.
It
You
didn't
lied.
work. It didn't work because I never opened it.
I don't think
Patrick,
a
thoughts?
live omission is still a lie.
Well, you said you couldn't get it to work. Technically, that was an accurate statement. However, it was a lie by omission because you never bothered to take the thing out of the fucking box. So
And you said you tried it last night and you tried it this morning, the day that we were recording.
Did I?
You did. You lied to
yes,
me.
yeah, those are.
But you
Those are absolute
want to? We can start
falsehoods.
playing the episode. From,
That's fine. I believe you, but I can explain that too.
I don't.
Oh
believe you.
my god!
I don't. You're not on court.
PJ,
I can
you're not-
explain
telling
it.
you,
PJ,
piece of
you're
shit.
never going to be my client.
Welcome back, everyone, to Overqualified Idiots. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. This is Dan Casey, MD, your host for the show. This is a podcast where four professionals from different fields come together, share their stories, and hopefully make you laugh. I am joined by an asshole, pharmacist, PJ.
We have a lawyer here. I'm still the asshole.
Right now you
Yes.
are. You just listen to the pre-roll, yes. And as you guys have already heard, as always, my brother, Pat Casey, JD.
Just happy to be here.
I'm wondering when we need to include the video, because the video is so good. Your face. All right. And a special guest coming back from last season, Tyler. Oh, I almost said your last name. Dr. Tyler, MD. Are you DO?
Hello.
No, you're MD. I always do this.
No video for
No.
Dr. Tyler, though.
I'm a real doctor.
I'm a real doctor. Oh, dude, no, don't do that.
Oh, we're not doing that? That's not what this episode
No.
was.
No, well, I mean, actually, it will be. But before we get into the meat and potatoes of it, I figured we could have some small talk, figure out what's going on in people's lives, how everybody's doing. How are you, Tyler? I haven't heard from you in forever. God, you're busy.
Yeah, just stupid busy.
Yeah, like what's new in terms of your work? I feel like every time I reach out to you or talk with you, you're on call.
Yeah, I just keep saying yes to things and new projects. I think just because
Oh no,
I'm just the new guy and I...
young and eager and
No,
available.
not that young. Definitely not that eager.
He's just a crowd pleaser.
Just the eternal pessimist that, like, if a recession comes and they need to fire someone, that it should be someone else and not me.
It's job security. Hey, that was the episode we just posted. Well, I'm sorry you're so busy. I hope you're getting paid extra if you're doing all extra work.
No.
No, I'm not. Oh, God. Okay.
Have to rub it in.
I'm sorry. I wasn't. See, if I work harder and do extra stuff, I get paid extra. So I thought for a moment that the titan in healthcare that you work for. Never mind. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna back off this topic. Anyway, Pat, how are you? You keep shaking your head.
Yeah, because everything you're saying just kind of dumb, but that's okay.
Stupid.
I'm doing fantastic. Kids are great. Wife's doing great. My work is prohibitively busy, which is better than the alternative, I suppose. And something I learned, not too long ago, probably this year's old, that just say no. Don't get suckered into things where you don't get compensated or you're not valued. Because just because they ask you to do it doesn't mean that they value the work that you do. That's my 2 cents. But everything's going great here.
Well, fair enough. I didn't mean to sound dumb. I was just
Oh my god, jeez. I'm just messing with you, host. Gorgo's fine. Get some self-esteem.
I try to think the best of people in the world.
Just because it's your older brother doesn't mean it's got any value to it.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll never value anything you say again.
No,
That's
never.
great.
Yeah.
And PJ, how are you fuck?
I'm still finding all the ports on my laptop.
I don't believe it. I'm still not convinced. Piece of shit. The only
Not
reason
only is he a liar, he's a troll too. Oh, Jesus.
well, PJ's always been a troll. I knew that.
Always.
Since I've known you.
I'm snarky.
The only reason that I'm okay with it is because that means you then have to come here and we get to hang out. You piece of shit.
And I usually bring you stuff.
You usually bring me. Yeah, you brought me a beer. All right, cheers. So, that being said, fucking piece of shit. Good segue into what our topic will be. I want to read off a story that's off Reddit. I can't find the actual post now. It may have gotten taken down. But I want to read you a story, Patrick. So, coming from user, blah, blah, insert name here. I got a bill for $220 for sending, or rather my patient got a bill for $220 from my office for sending me a thank you note. I checked into this. Basically, I received this thank you note. It went not to me, but to one of my office staff, who went and in turn brought it to me and promptly sent the patient a $220 bill for reviewing medical documentation. I took us up to our billing and coding department, and they said that what's done is done, the bill is sent, and won't be written off. Patrick, if this is your doctor, what would you think? What would you say? What would you do?
You're fired.
You're fired.
I'm not coming back to you, and the next thing I'm going to do is find every place I possibly can to put a 1-star for either the doctor or the place, the S-Mart, so to speak. Yeah, no, I mean, because I mean, you work for an S-Mart. It sounds like Tyler works for an S-Mart, so
a bigger S-Mart.
I mean, you know, there's your significant other Dan works for the worst of them.
The worst S-Mart,
in my opinion. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong.
Can't misdiagnose a pituitary tumor so many times, but I digress. God. So, with that being said, no, I would definitely drop the doc right away and find a different medical professional and voice my opinions through the social medias, because that's what people do when they're displeased with me. So,
well, I agree with you, because this story, believe it or not, was actually from a physician sending a thank you note to his lawyer, whose office promptly billed him $200 for reading a thank you note. And when he contested it, he got an email reply back from the lawyer saying, lawyers aren't appreciated for the work they do. They aren't appreciated for all the time and effort they put in. He doesn't understand his billing and why he received a bill. He's wrong. It wasn't for the thank you note. And they expunged it because he said $200 isn't worth his time. So, Tyler, could you ever imagine a world in which we billed for reading a thank you note?
No, absolutely not.
Would you ever even think we should, in any context ever?
No, but it would make my financial profile much healthier.
So, Patrick, as the lawyer, I got some gripes with your field. I got some gripes with you.
Would never happen in my office, I'll tell you what. All right, you know, I mean, when you... I don't understand why you wouldn't write that off when someone brings such an egregious error to their attention. You get billed for reading a thank you note. I mean,
but isn't that crazy too? Because the lawyer responds with, "Doctor, no one is grateful for lawyers' help," in response to receiving a thank you note, which is wild to me.
Yeah, I bet you the reason the Reddit post came down is because the law firm threatened to sue. But
there you go. Well, I assume a lawsuit coming from a law office.
And if you could only see my face, the smiles of the irony of the whole thing, because you're pointing out one piece, just one little piece of irony. The other is that Reddit post is gone, dude, because the law firm found out about it.
Yeah, you're right.
Because a law firm that big that couldn't fix a $200 bill over a reading of a thank you note is it's probably hundreds of lawyers in a firm, would be my bet.
Well, it sounds like they fixed it. It just sounds like they needed to get their last word in and bitch about how, we're not appreciated when we get thank you notes, and we really should appreciate us with $200 for reading your thank you note. So that's the theme of the episode, is Dueling Banjos. This is our safe space, public forum, to bitch about each other's fields, bitch about people within our own fields. What gripes, stories, problems do you have with PJ? What problems do you have with doctors or lawyers? Patrick, what problems do you have with doctors, pharmacists, or other lawyers? And Tyler, you're in the hospital, so you're in a different medical realm than I am right now. What gripes do you guys have and bring to the table today? PJ, do you need time or do you have some?
I have some.
All right. I want to hear it.
So say there's like a 99% accuracy rate as far as prescriptions coming in.
Yes.
So that sounds about right. So if I do like 300 on a busy day, then there's 3 or 4 mistakes probably that I need to send back to the doctor.
2 to 4. Yeah.
And most of the time it's like either we don't hear back for like a day or two. And if we do, it's usually pretty like, oh, let me fix this. Here you go.
Resend the script.
Right. Or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, these happen to me sometimes too. Yeah.
But like once or twice a week, probably we get stuff like they'll just resend the exact same thing over.
Oh God. Wait, why?
or like I'll send them like a really concisely well written, like, hey, this is what we need to fix. What do you want us to do? Kind of thing. And they'll send back a signature and say, here you go.
Okay.
And I'm like,
that didn't fix the problem.
What are you trying to tell me?
You misread it. Here you go. Here's the correct thing again.
Right.
Okay. So like didn't fix the problem.
Right. That kind of annoys me. But like I also get that doctors are busy. We're busy. It happens. But.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too. I'm not going to admit to being. I will not say I am perfect. Far from it. I've definitely sent scripts for, I don't know, probably basically medications that aren't covered. I've sent capsules instead of tablets when tablets are covered or they're easier to take in that form, what have you. And that's usually just like that. I get a message, I fix it, I resend it, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I do that in between patients. But you're right. Sometimes it takes a day or two. Sometimes I fall behind. I don't work Fridays. So sometimes I get angry emails that, hey, I sent this to you 4 days ago. No. You sent this to me on Thursday at 4:57 and it is Monday, 8:05. You sent this to me 15 minutes ago as far as am I able to actually address it. That's a common problem too. It's like, do you ever get doctors who call like, no, put the pills in the bottle, count by 5. You're wrong. I sent this. I know what the medicine's supposed to be. Do you have any of those like agreed? Like, no, this will kill the person.
So we used to have a lot more of those like 5-6 years ago, and it was more boomers. Now that it's more people our age usually prescribing, I think they're a little bit more understanding.
Okay.
Generally speaking.
So it's a cultural shift that doctors are, well, obviously just the way time moves forward.
I agree with PJ completely. I think that it's a cultural shift that the people of our generation, they actually take responsibility for their actions or think that they're the ones who are likely in the wrong before they consider the other person is. And the generation above us, our parents may not be like that.
Yeah, I cross a cultural norm. Yeah, I had a question for you, PJ, because last time I think I talked to Ramon about this. Ramon was on the episode. I've only ever had one confrontation with a pharmacist where I had called in. This was pretty early on in my practice, maybe like 3-4 months. I had sent in diclofenac gel, Voltaren, to a patient because they were on blood thinners and they can't take oral anti-inflammatories. And I had learned from the Journal of Pharmacy, American Journal of Pharmacy, I want to say, in 2018 published a study that says, no, Voltaren, when used correctly, or basically anti-inflammatory topicals, are safe with blood thinner use. That if you use it the way it's instructed, there's no significant interaction. This pharmacist was reading me the Riot Act. I don't know what it was, but he was clearly like reading off of a script where he said, like, I can't in good conscience fill this medication. It's unsafe. I have a blah, 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 blah. I have rights, right to refuse and a duty to protect the patient. It was like something from S-Mart.
Yeah.
Do you guys have something like that? Can you speak to that? Ramon didn't know what it was.
So we don't have a script. They have probably their own script in their head.
Oh, okay.
Like I have like one where I'll use for narcotics if I need to, but it's not one that's been provided to me. It's like, hey, I'm not comfortable with this. Can we kind of figure out something that we can get comfortable with this or change something?
I see.
But that usually for me pertains to narcotics generally.
I'm not going to
fight about Voltaren. But
that man had a lot of time on his hands.
At the same time, our system does flag it the same as if it's a tablet.
Right.
So like
ours does too.
So if he's reading it from a script, he may be reading from that script as far as the interaction, and he's not differentiating between topical use.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
Because he didn't listen to anything. I said, it's a topical. No, it's an anti-inflammatory. You can't use it with the blood thinner. Okay, it's a topical. You can. Here's your journal from your field. Right. It says you can. Anyways, so this is the second time I've brought this up. Obviously, I'm not bitter about it, but I wanted to ask you, another pharmacist, to bring it up, to address that, because I've never had that happen before or since.
Yeah, like our system will like pick up an interaction between like an eye drop and something, and I'm like, it's an
eye drop. This is not relevant. This is why AI will not replace us.
Right. Like unless it's an allergy or something, it doesn't matter. Just give me the eye drop.
Tyler, I figure this is a good transition. What? Oh God, he's ready. What gripes do you have about other fields, other doctors, encounters, stories?
I want to stick with the pharmacist for a little bit more.
Yeah, beat up on him. He deserves it today.
Probably every day.
Piece of shit.
My biggest gripe is, and I don't know that pharmacists always know they're doing it, because like they have their little old lady that's coming to pick up her medication and they want to have small talk. And I've had multiple instances where a patient will be chatting with a pharmacist and be like, oh, well, yeah, my doctor gave me this medication and I also got this one at home and that's a new one for me. And then the pharmacists will just make like an offhand, like, oh, yeah, those medications don't always go together great, or you might have a higher risk of side effects. And then they just take that as the gospel. And then I see them like 4 weeks later, and I'm like, how's the medication going? And they're like, oh, I'm in extreme pain. I've never taken any of the pain medicine because my pharmacist said that
Right.
if I take my sleeping pill at night and I take my morphine in the morning, that I'm going to die.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, I don't think they said that.
I don't think they said it in those words. No, I know what you're talking about, because I've had patients come back. Usually it's because they went to Dr. Google and basically got, there's maybe this, WebMD interaction of something that could make me have side effects. And I just never took it. I'm like, well, pills don't work in the bottle. Well, it's not like it's going to do anything if you don't take it. So, yeah, I get what you're saying, because I've had those few and far between, but every now and again, the pharmacist said I should be worried about this, so I never took it. I'm like, okay, well, now nothing's different, and we're 3 months behind schedule. So
I'm sure some pharmacists phrase it a certain way, so I can't speak for the whole profession.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like that game of telephone we played as kids.
Oh, yeah.
So like things get changed down the line where like I'll even have like something come back to me from like a week before, like through other means. Hey, did you say this to a patient? I'm like, I said this. Maybe they understood it as this, and it just goes over their head or something, and that's fairly common.
Yeah. But, and I think most people are generally, don't want to take medicines or anxious about them or on edge about them. But yeah, if you're talking about morphine for pain, and I know your line of work in palliative care. Oh, I didn't actually think on the last episode I had you kind of explain that. Can you explain what you do and why you have your own area of medicine that is not just hospice and not just internal medicine, like what your role is? I feel like most people don't. I've talked to a lot of people, even a couple of close friends who've had family go into hospice and like didn't even know palliative care or had, life-limiting diagnoses, didn't even know palliative care existed until I brought it up in a discussion.
Yeah, it's sad. There's a lot of people that get to us way too late. So palliative medicine is a specialty that optimizes quality of life for people with life-limiting illnesses at like any stage of the disease. So I have plenty of patients that have just been diagnosed with cancer and they're getting ready to start on chemotherapy, or they are just starting to enter their ALS journey and they're not really having significant symptoms yet, but we know what the trajectory is going to be. And so we help to support their quality of life by managing their symptoms. So things like pain and nausea and shortness of breath and constipation and confusion, and also the side effects that come from the treatments for their disease, like the chemotherapy that is really tough on the body. So just trying to make life worth living while you're trying to deal with a terrible illness and terrible treatments for the terrible illness.
Yeah. And you said one thing I think was worth expounding on is also like setting expectations, because you said sometimes people come in and they're not very symptomatic. They're not necessarily along the trajectory where things can really start to limit quality of life, but letting people know what to expect and what to anticipate and being that voice and education for patients.
Yeah, that can be kind of the more fun consults that I do, because you get to have a little bit more of a pleasant conversation. It gets to be a little bit more hypothetical for the patient, so it's less abrasive, it's less scary, where you get to say, like, we're in a good place right now. One of my favorite things is when I'm not needed, so I'm really thankful that you're enjoying your quality of life. And from what I've seen with plenty of patients with your condition, that is probably going to change at some point in the future, and this is how we're going to handle it when that happens. Especially with cancer patients, a lot of the time their oncologists are very optimistic, which I think is kind of necessary for their field.
Yeah.
But then it falls on me to paint maybe a little bit more realistic of a picture.
So is that kind of segueing back to the topic? Thank you for expounding on that. That actually, I think, is very, very well put and well said. What gripes do you have about colleagues, if any, that you wanted to bring up? What gripes with lawyers or pharmacists you have, or primary care doctors? Whoever you want to put on the chopping block.
I think one of my biggest gripes is that when we use medications in palliative medicine, we use them differently than basically every other specialty. So we very much do things off-label. most of the medications that we use off-label. We use them for their side effects instead of trying to avoid side effects, which is pretty unique to us.
Oh, that is interesting.
We use it at different doses than a lot of other specialties are used to. So we frequently will use even antipsychotics at a completely different dose, a much lower dose. And people aren't taught about that because it's not really relevant outside of our specialty. And my colleagues sometimes still get scared of the side effects, QTC prolongation and all this. And they'll ignore my recommendations and put in their comments for their notes, that's not going to try this medication because concern for this. And so now I've just started being, I don't want to say passive aggressive, but passive aggressive.
in like documentation and
yes.
Back and forth note charting.
So I've just started citing studies in my documentation, in my notes for my plan.
That's authoritative. Yeah. I mean, if you just put in the actual study that talks about why you want to do what you want to do, that's a very hard thing to counter. Then it's just, I'm scared of this, I don't want to do it. Like, that's not good enough anymore.
So that brings me a little bit of joy. I'm actually surprised that my pharmacist colleagues don't have more issues with the stuff that I send to them. I feel like there must be a fair amount of trust.
Well, so if you give us a diagnosis code, or if you give us you tell us you're in palliative care, we can get very hands off about certain things. And at least I try to.
Because a lot of the goals have changed.
Yeah.
The goalposts have moved because we're not necessarily trying to prevent side effects if the side effect is what we're hoping for.
Yeah. And when it comes to pain management, especially for cancer pain's completely different than any other type of pain physiologically and how we treat it. And so plenty of my patients are on very reasonable regimens, and some of them are on regimens that would make our attendings from residency have a stroke. I have patients on 2,000-3,000 morphine equivalents a day.
Whoa.
The maximum for primary care is 90 a day.
Yeah, I was I'm sorry, did I hear you correctly? God damn.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. Wait, because respiratory depression happens with those high crazy doses. I know people become resistant to the pain alleviating factors of morphine? Do they become resistant to the respiratory depression too?
The only part that doesn't go away is constipation. Yep. You become resistant to everything else.
Oh, okay. I forgot that part.
Very true. So it's a misnomer, even amongst our incoming fellows when we're teaching them. There is no true ceiling for opioids.
Right.
There is no maximum dose. And so just like PJ said, every other side effect of opioids, the body becomes resistant to except for constipation.
Well, I don't have any gripes with hospitalist medicine because I'm so far removed from it. And I don't have any gripes with palliative care doctors. I do have gripes. I don't think you were on the team, but we were I think I was either an intern or a second year and you were on a different rotation, but we did have one cancer patient who, more or less for cultural reasons, didn't want to go on hospice. The family didn't want to go on hospice. And it was pretty end stage. And the oncologist walked into the room these are young, training new doctors. They don't know what they're doing, so be patient with them. We're going to help you. We're going to get you better. And it's the woman is not going to make it. And we're thinking less than a month. So my gripe is probably something I'm guessing you run into, where oncologists have a very different goalpost. And then they start to try to be the superhero, try to be the optimist in the room. Didn't really know if you wanted to speak to that. I just remember that encounter of being really frustrated that it's no. We've been spending 2 weeks trying to convince her, hey, let's have a palliative consult. And family was no, not hospice. I'm no, I'm not talking about hospice. I'm talking about palliative, what you do. So
yeah, I think it's getting better. I do really adore my oncology colleagues. I think they're in such a hard position that they get to see these patients earlier in their journey than I even do. And they develop these connections and these relationships with them. And they're there for a lot of the ups and downs that we try to be once we get involved as well. But sometimes we get consulted too late. And so, especially for young patients, at times it's very clear that they're on third or fourth line treatment and it's still progressing. And we need to have a realistic conversation of what we're expecting to happen, and they can get connected. They can really build on that relationship to the point that we continue to offer treatment after treatment when it's just not in the best interest of the patient anymore, because we want to keep that hope alive.
Well, that is an important role. You got a lot of more serious than I was hoping. Patrick, your face you look happy to be here.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah. All right, bring the funny back. Let's go.
Yeah, dude,
Okay.
you look like a Krispy Kreme because you're so glazed.
Yep. Well, I could be glazed for other reasons, but I'm not. Anyways, so Governor Walz signed the bill, so that's good news. The first story I've got is, I'm told by S-Smart via their, wonderful notification line that calls me ad nauseum, and I should just get an HRO against them for it, telling me that the medication that I'm supposed to have had a week ago still isn't in, and they've told me that every day, twice a day.
To clarify, is this an S-Smart? Is this a doctor's office or a pharmacy?
No. This is a pharmacy. This is a pharmacist. S-Smart.
Okay.
Yeah, S-Smart that Ramon worked for.
That PJ works for currently.
Maybe.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh God.
So with that being said, I've called 3 times, and finally on the third call, I'm like, just give me the pharmacist. And the pharmacist gets on, and I said, I'm waiting a week for this med, and I really shouldn't go 2 doses, let alone 4 or 5 doses without it. What's the solution? Well, I mean, I don't have it. I said, yeah, but it's a generic. So that means there's a name brand. Do you have that? Well, no, but I could order that. I don't usually order that. Like, oh, well, let's think outside the box and order the name brand, and I will come in and purchase said name brand. Well, it's going to be about $10 more. And I didn't hang up on him, but I certainly felt like doing it. Like, that's fine. I will gladly pay $10 so that I can get this medication that, my doctor says I should take on a regular basis. So that's one. The other is I go to the drive-thru for my significant other, and they say, oh, we've got 4 medications here. And I go, okay, but I'm only here. But, 3 of them haven't been filled. And I say, I know, but I'm only here to, and so can you come back at 15? I'm like, no, stop. I only want the one that's filled. Well, you don't have to be rude. I said, you interrupted me every single time. You're the only one being rude. Go get the one med. If it's not the one I want, I will come in and speak to the pharmacist. And then I don't even see the gal. She just drops the phone. Like, it just like thunk. And she then has to, but she's got to still talk to me because she's got to verify my address. And if I want to talk to the pharmacist and all that, I'm not even looking at her. I'm just like, no, yes, I want it on my fast pay. Bye. It's like, just listen. Don't put the script away for like 5 seconds so that I can tell you what I need.
Yeah,
Like,
PJ.
I mean,
God,
True.
I know you're well trained, but dear Lord, shut up and just listen for a second. That has been my frustration these last couple of weeks, because there's no such thing as active listening anymore. People listen to respond, or they do their job and just think everybody's an absolute effing moron, and they don't listen to the patient or the customer or anything. They just don't listen at all. I mean, I have to do active listening 5-6 days a week, and sometimes I'm not very good at it, and when I'm not, I apologize. But no, people just don't have the ability to actively listen to something, not to be prepared to respond. As for doctors, I don't know if we got enough time, guys. I mean, it's only an hour show. It's only an hour show.
You got time. I think I'll let you go. I'll let you go loose. I guess I have gripes about lawyers, but not many.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. No, I had a doctor, and they were really good, very thorough, very smart. I showed up for my 5 o'clock appointment at 5:40. I showed up for my 5 o'clock appointment at 5:40 because I was instructed to show up 40 minutes late. It made me miss one of my kids' sporting activities because the doctor still hadn't come out at 6:45, and I went up to the counter and told the gals that are still there on a Friday at 6:45. I said, "This doctor, I'm never going to see them again. Do not schedule anything with me. I will change my primary on my own and find somebody else. Have a nice weekend." And walked away. Because I showed up, I was instructed to show up almost 45 minutes late for the appointment and an extra hour. So,
An hour and 45 minutes late?
An hour and 45 minutes late for what was a 5:00 appointment.
Good Lord.
So here's the thing. That's the opposite problem of what I've had with other medical professionals. It's like, senior labs, yep, you look good, bye. And then on the other the other end of the spectrum was this person. It's like, oh, how are you? And what's going on? And just ask, just give me a half-hour visit. Well, that's why it's an hour and 45 minutes behind, because this doctor was behind, would be late to their own funeral because they spend way too much time with their patients.
Well, will say, I like to think I walked that median pretty well. I have been late. I think at most, the very most, I've been 40 minutes late when I've been double booked 2 or 3 times without my knowledge and with my approval. But yeah, I've never been an hour and 45 minutes. I've never been close to that. Oh my God. That's absurd. And I like to think I spent a lot of time with my patients. Yeah, goddamn. That's fair. I think an hour and 45 minutes late to an appointment. I mean, we were raised in a household if you're on time, you're late.
If I showed up an hour and 45 minutes to a court appearance, I'm pretty certain 1, I'd have an ethics complaint. 2, I'd be fired. 3, there'd be every social media place would be 1 star that they could possibly find. I mean, but what's it to do with a doctor? I mean, they're in a practice in a facility, and we just wait for doctors, not like we wait for other professionals. And that's true.
I've never been late for an appointment. So, Dan, that maybe you should consider being a better doctor.
You piece of shit. I fucking hate you guys. That's fine. I spend a lot of time with my patients. I bring a lot of work home to make sure everybody gets their fair amount of time. If I'm running behind, it's because somebody was late.
You don't need to defend yourself.
I know, but I'm going to defend myself anyways.
You just defend yourself anyways. Got it.
You shut the hell up. Both of you. I've never been late. Bullshit. I don't believe you. There's no way.
Oh, no, it's true, because my appointments are an hour long for new patients.
Oh, well, that's
45 minutes
amazing.
for return patients.
Okay. Well, that's the dream. That's the life. I wish. No, my appointments are 15 minutes. Patients are told to show up 10 to 15 minutes early in case they need x-rays. They're in the room. They get seen. They get their time. Next patient. All right. Well, fine. I'll talk about some lawyer stuff. So I've been deposed once. I was in the room when something occurred in a case. I wasn't a part of it. I just happened to witness it. But I was called to testify and give my deposition. My lawyer that I worked with was amazing. She prepped me really well. She told me what to expect. And she said, these are probably the questions they're going to ask you. This is what they're going to go through. Don't answer anything on it. Like, I think I've heard this. Someone say this, like, the worst thing you do is answer a way your lawyer doesn't expect. Answer it a way that is unexpected. And the only thing that bothered me throughout the whole deposition was she even told me the guy who's going to be talking to you is an asshole. He is an asshole in the field. He is an asshole to everyone. And he's just rude and basically a shark of a lawyer. And so I get on, and the guy's got glasses and a slick back haircut. And he starts going into his questions. And he gets to this point where he asks why I reviewed this document. I was like, oh, well, they had my name on it. And they said they listed my credentials as like an attending physician, which was wrong. And I was pointed that out to correct it and say I was a resident physician. I was a PGY1, which is a first year resident and intern. And I'm not an attending physician. I did the H&P for this patient, but I was in no way involved with their care beyond that. And he's like, okay, but why did you look at the document? I've answered this question. No, but you need to tell me why you looked at the document. And I just give like the same answer because I don't even change anything how I respond. I just go, well, they told me there was this spot of information where it listed my credentials incorrectly, and I was asked to verify what it should say or what it would normally say, and I did that. Yeah, but why did you read the document? Patrick, can you tell me why the hell that man answered that same question like 5-6 different ways? Why do you people do this?
Because they're hoping for a different response. It's actually something stolen from law enforcement. It's a very effective interrogation technique where you hear the response and then you ask the same question again, as if the first response didn't seem truthful or didn't seem accurate or I mean, he's not suggesting that, but your simple response was, yeah, I was asked to look at it because there was an error and I corrected the error. But why did you look at it? Because I was asked to do it because there was an error and I corrected the error. But that doesn't answer my question. I'm pretty sure it does. And then at some point, your attorney should be like, object is asked and answered. Move on, counsel.
So this is the problem.
It's a technique and a tactic.
My counsel did object, and he kept asking, but this was remote. There was no judge. This was a remote pre-recorded
Well, yeah, it's a deposition. There's never a judge.
Oh, okay. But with the recording, they'd say, okay, I objected, but just keep answering the question. But he kept asking the question like 6-7 more times. And eventually I looked at my counsel, and she's like all shoulders. Her just like, I don't know why he's asking the same question. We haven't moved on. So she didn't say asked and answered, I don't think, but I just wanted to know, why are you guys assholes?
I know why I am. I can't speak for that guy, but I mean, it seems like a significant waste of time because in those types of cases, as I understand it, I mean, you're looking at a med mal case, right? That was the claim, was medical malpractice?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, those are taken typically on a contingency fee basis. And the more time that lawyer spends on that case in particular, the less value any recovery he gets on behalf of his client, because he's only going to get a third, typically, of the recovery. So I don't know why he's doing that other than to try to get under your skin or get you to answer differently.
Well, apparently it interviewed another doctor before me and had gotten very under that person's skin. So I think he's well practiced at being an asshole. No, that's really my only lawyer.
How bad of luck do you have to get called into court as an intern?
I fucking bad enough. That was the thing. It was like, this happened when I was a fellow. So this is 3 years removed. And they're like, what do you remember about this case? And like, I was in the room. And then what happened? I don't know. I was to the side of the bed. I couldn't see anything. Who else was in the room? I have no idea. It was 3 years ago. I do not recall. If it worked for Hillary, it could work for me.
I still didn't know where to park at the hospital yet. So.
I still didn't know where to park. I still didn't have my own parking space.
You are in the room, and therefore it's relevant. Even if you're like Sergeant Schultz and you're like, I know nothing. They're still going to call you and ask you. They're going to ask you a question. I mean, they got that. That's just what they're going to do.
Yeah, they asked questions out the wahoo about who was in the room, what happened when, and I'm like, I have no idea. I do not remember. I was in a state of shock because it was not a good thing. But I do remember like the documentation I wrote, and I was like, okay, that looks fine. This is all good. And that was like my role in it. But I don't know, Pat, I guess my other gripe, maybe it's not even a gripe. This is more of a question. When you have people giving depositions for you or you're having people testify, if they don't know, is that sufficient? Because I swear to God, this lawyer didn't like that I didn't know anything.
Yes, no, I don't know. Please repeat the question. I mean, just, less is more in the deposition. The lawyer's got to extract the information from you. So I don't know is an acceptable answer. If you don't know and there's a document or a writing by you, then they can bring that forward, have you review it, and ask you if that refreshes your recollection, and then ask the questions again. Same ones over and over and over until you lose your mind at them, and then they've got you right where they want you.
Well, yeah, I think my fellowship director said the one thing he noted about me and however many years he had been a director, he's like, I was the only person who could never get under their skin. And that lawyer couldn't really get under my skin. I was just confused. I was like, I don't understand it. I don't know why you're asking me this question again. I feel like I've answered this already. And I don't think he's ever had a doctor admit to being dumb and basically just say, I don't know what you want to know. I don't know how to answer this. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, it's one arrogant narcissist to another, typically. I mean, what you're saying in medical malpractice cases. So
For a second, you're talking about me. I was like, wait, what? Oh, but doctors in
always
general,
taking
yeah.
it personal, huh, Dan. No,
Yeah,
I
you're
meant
right.
I'm talking about.
Shut up,
I'm
Patrick.
talking about, you know, most med malp is in some type of, surgical procedure. And in those situations, you have arrogant people who didn't do anything wrong, and arrogant people questioning those people, and they don't do anything wrong. Just ask them both, and they'll tell you. I mean, that's true. That's
Yeah, you just hit the nail right on the head there, I think. Well done. I don't have any other lawyer stories. I have other doctor stories, but I don't feel like they're as interesting. Because most of the other doctor stories are like, well, this cardiologist and this nephrologist really didn't like each other because one wanted to diurese and the other wanted to protect the kidneys, and they had an argument in the hallway. And it's just like, yeah, shit happens all the time. Cards and nephrology hate each other. It's fine. I don't know. Did anybody else have any other...
Wait, so like shit happened? Like GI was involved?
But wait, hold on. I have a sound effect for this. Let me find it.
You should be practicing this during the week. There we go.
No,
God bless.
Sorry. Oh, I should be practicing.
Yes.
I just have it pulled up. Did anybody have any other gripes, issues, stories, anything they wanted to bring up or talk
We
about?
really would need a 3-hour episode for all of the gripes that I have about the legal profession.
I think that's called a therapy session.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so like you got to pay someone else for that, Patrick.
Yeah.
Dan, have you ever interacted with a hospital's legal team?
Not in any like significant context, no.
Because a lot of times if there's like an ethics case, we have to talk to the legal team. And as much as I appreciate them, it's not like an ever a beneficial experience.
It's not pleasant is what I heard you say.
It's not pleasant and it's not helpful. It's just like, yeah, so you haven't broken any laws. Well, yeah, I know that. Okay, good. Just keep not breaking laws. Well, yeah,
that was never the issue.
that was my
So you
plan.
guys don't have
my
your
plan
own
was
like
to continue.
medical ethics board that you could like get advisory opinions on or ask questions of?
We do,
There is,
and
yeah.
it's also not
as helpful as you'd think.
And
Well,
I
that's
say that as
unfortunate.
someone that is involved with ethics, and it's still just like, yeah, this is a hard case. I recommend that you do what you think is best. Okay.
Yeah, there is something to that, though. I mean, sometimes there's not a good answer or there's not a right answer.
Yeah.
Ethics are not anything that's even remotely close to black and white in some circumstances. So, yeah, I can understand. No, in the legal ethics context, like, well, I mean, there's 3 things you can do. This one's bad, this one's really bad, and you should not do this. So, there you go. Choose your own
Good luck.
adventure.
So to give you some context for the medical side of ethics, I think, and I picked up on this pretty quick, whenever we did any of our thousands of practice questions, step questions, getting ready for our boards, if you ever had a question that said consult the ethics committee, that was automatically the wrong answer. Right. We never get tested on things that are ambiguous. Because if the ethics committee needs to get involved, we're in new territory, we're in new waters for the most part, or very, very specific dicey waters. Because I shout out to all the residents and med students getting ready for board. It's the wrong answer. The ethics committee is never the correct answer. They're not going to test you on things they don't know the answer to yet. So
you're going to make somebody miss an answer to a question right there, Dan.
No, fuck you. I'm 100% right. I have never, ever seen that as the correct answer, ever. Thousands, tens of thousands of practice. Don't you look smug, you...
You talking to me?
Yeah, you. You look so smug. No, I'm not talking to Tyler. He doesn't have video.
I planned ahead.
The anonymity continues. No, I was going to say, all right, let's tell you what. We have time for one more story. If you have a good one, Pat, anything about other legal counsel, anything about lawyers, I figure it's your fair chance to riff on your own field. Anyways, whatever the expression is.
Your chance to fart on some lawyers.
Yeah,
Oh.
fart on some lawyers' faces. Go.
Well, I think that the best stories I've told so many over the last few episodes, but we started
That's
talking
true.
ethics. We started talking ethics, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
And I had I had a case where an attorney said, "Well, I talked to this person in a consultation, and I don't remember what happened in the exact case that they were taking the opposite side in." So they talked to him about a potential dissolution action, and then ultimately ended up represent as a free consult. Then ultimately ends up representing the other spouse.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean it's not even close to it's not even a close call.
That's not supposed to happen.
No, it's not.
How does that happen though?
Do you remember that story you just told about the lawyer that asked you the same question about why you looked at a document 6 times?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
enough.
greed. I think in this circumstance, though, it's greed. It's certainly not a lack of intelligence on the part of the attorney, because I know them and they are an intelligent person. They're just being intentionally obtuse in that situation because they're going to take the money in the case. So no notes. Don't remember the free consultation I gave 5 months ago. They never retain me. There's no attorney-client privilege. Go fly a kite. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I ended up not taking the other side of that case, and just told the potential client, you don't have to. My patented phrase, like, you got to hire a lawyer. You don't hire me, but whoever you do hire, you need to make an issue of this, because if you don't raise it at the beginning, if you just let it go, then you've waived it and it just moves forward. So yeah, that lawyer had privileged information and just like, I don't remember. Well, it doesn't matter what, in our ethics, it doesn't matter what the lawyer remembers.
You should just excuse yourself out of principle.
Okay, yeah, all right. Again, refer to the previous statement. So you just can't convince people that they're wrong, and lawyers even worse so. That's the biggest problem. It's like, you're wrong, and I'm going to show you how you're wrong, and then I show them how they're wrong, and then they say I'm making it personal because I'm telling them that they're wrong, and I'm like, it's not personal. This is professional. You're being intentionally obtuse. If you want to ignore these facts, that is fine. We will go in, and here is the argument I'm going to make, and this is how I'm going to win, and there you go. So don't try to tell me it's raining while you're peeing on my leg. I mean, that's that.
Has that ever worked?
What?
Peeing on his leg.
The pee on the leg? For jellyfish.
Got stung
maybe.
by a jellyfish or something. Yeah. God, same brain. Get the fuck out of my head. No, has that approach of telling them in those words, like, hey, you're wrong, this is how I'm going to prove you're wrong, and this is the series of events that's going to happen next. Has anyone ever taken you up on that and been like, oh, you're probably right? Or has it always just been the narcissist?
Well, I mean, typically it's the chicken game. They want to see if I will pull the truck over on the side of the road. When I say that,
I will turn this car around.
Yeah, no. When I tell them how I'm going to drive the truck over them, that I just drive the truck, and I don't listen to anything other than acquiescence at that point. Because if they want to be that intentionally obtuse and ignore, the situation and how it's going to be applied to the law, that's their funeral and their clients too.
What are the repercussions for that person should that get escalated in any sense?
They could get probably a private admonishment. Don't do this again, type of thing.
So a slap on the wrist.
Unless they do, they do those repeatedly.
Unless
they do it repeatedly, and then it gets escalated to a public opinion, and at that point, they're going to be under supervision. They've got to do what they got to do. That lawyer's not going to care, because not that many people actually follow through with or even know how to make an ethics complaint. So,
well, all right. Sounds like lawyers are unethical. Doctors take too much time, and pharmacists, goddamn it, put the pills in the bottle. What are you doing?
We can only count by 5. It takes time.
I got a script for an odd number of pills. I panicked and hid in the closet. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't count to it.
I got the answer undefined, and I got lost. Sorry, guys.
Undefined. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. Unless anybody had anything else to add, I was going to wrap up. thank you, Tyler, for starring again. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us. You presented some very enlightening things about your field and some. Honestly, I don't think you even griped that much. You didn't have too many gripes.
Hey,
No,
Tyler, sorry we left you in the dark.
Oh, it's okay. I'm a pretty pleasant person, so everyone needs that contrast.
I love it. Of all the people, he's like, I'm the nice one in case you don't know. Like, just hang out with him in person. It's fine. Love you, buddy.
I love you too.
Well, thank you guys for joining. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in. Like, subscribe, follow on whatever your favorite podcast platform is. Download the episodes to show support. We're on all forms of social media, Facebook, the YouTubes. Oh my God, what is it called? The Reddit page. We have a Reddit page. We made one. It's there. I haven't made a Discord server yet, but I got to figure out how first.
The irony of
Post
that story,
comments,
Dan?
likes. Say that again.
Interrupting. Yeah, post, like, subscribe. Yeah. The irony is that I conflicted myself out of that case, that guy wouldn't conflict himself out because I had a conflict too.
That is ironic.
That's the irony.
Well, fair enough.
I'd forgotten that piece of the piece of the facts.
All right,
so just don't-
all
yeah,
lawyers
apologize.
except Patrick are unethical. I like it.
That's not true.
Oh, just blanket statements. I'm sure I won't get in trouble.
Yeah, I know.
I object.
Sorry, Your Honor.
I strenuously object.
Like, post comments on what you want to hear. Post comments about videos, what's videos you liked, polls, etc. We will be back next week. We post videos every Sunday. Thank you and take care.